Hello, good evening, and welcome to News Central TV. My name is Mazino Pil. Now the top stories this hour. National Assembly receives Rivers State 2025 budget proposal worth 1.48 trillion naira from President Tinubu, and Senate President Godswill Akpabio and former Kogi State Governor Yahaya Bello to testify as federal government files criminal charge against Senator Natasha Akpoti-Uduaghan. Outside Nigeria, Israeli Prime Minister Benjamin Netanyahu orders global security boost in aftermath of shooting in Washington. Details now. And you're welcome back. Now we've just seen the APC National Summit conclude with the president giving his speech there. And from before, I did say that we were going to be bringing in guests to have this conversation on the matters that were raised. Joining us is Okiki Adeniran, who's a lawyer, and also Akin Fatunke, political affairs analyst, both here in Lagos. Gentlemen, you're welcome. Thank you very much for joining us.
Thank you very much.
Grand. Now, Kiki, I'm going to be starting with you. I want to look at the APC internal dynamics here and also the public perception of the APC. Now, the president was noted to have said that the party is open to all who want to join the party, whether from citizens or from other political parties. How do you think this is going to affect the internal dynamics and also public perception of the APC currently and going forward? Okiki.
Well, I believe that what the president has said and what we have seen has been shown to us right this evening is that the president has tried to invite other people to the party. Well, as it is, it's a game of choice. One can decide to join a political party, and what the president has said is basically that the party is open and the arms are wide, to taking everyone into the political party, into APC. I believe that there shouldn't be any criticism in that sense or any issue at that, because each party has been assigned for different persons to join and different motives and different policies. So importantly, as we speak, I believe that it's the right step in the right direction. And for the president to have said this, it's calling on other people, even his critics, to join the political party and supporting as he's been endorsed by his members.
Endorsed by his members in the APC. But what do you think the opposition, if there are any, their response would be to such a claim? Okiki still.
Well, the opposition will probably, come up to say that, it's trying to woo a lot of people into his camp. But well, it's like I said, it's a game of choice, game of numbers. It's very important what one who has an ambition, for a particular thing. It's very important what you do at this time. And most importantly, as we've seen that he's been endorsed for another term, it's expected that he calls for more people to join the party, just so that the plans and aspirations of the party and for him also, can be brought to pass.
I'd like to get Akin Fatuke's response on that question regarding the Catholicism of the APC now welcoming in even defectors. What do you think about that, Akin?
Positive. As for me, when Mr. President spoke and said we have the vision, we have the mission, and he said, I know the road, and started succinctly, in my view, to acknowledge a particular name, and I'm going to ask Nigerians to take cognizance of this. Recognized amongst others, which I don't need to repeat here, Mr. Ame Ebute. You remember what he said? We were in the tension together, and I can confirm that himself, talking of Mr. President, in the throes to the Abuja, Abacha, Gulag, after the 1993 nullification of elections, and Professor Abimbola, Akin Fatunke, can confirm that I saw them at the Alagun I really saw them. This was all before, the Kokori or no Kokori, June 12 or no June 12 and all that. I think that was a very good one. I think this will go down to recognize the fact that you guys have recognized you. I'm not going to forget you. Secondly, he was clear and bold to say we practice a constitutional democracy. Well, if you say that it's one party state, it's one ship like Noah's ship, where if you do not hit and you are in a sinking ship, I don't think this is going to ring very well. It's going to be sonorous to the ears of the opposition. But you better just come in quickly before the ship sinks. I also take cognizance to what the opposition will be thinking in saying, I am not in a position to give you political appointments now, but wait. With added prosperity, things is going to improve. And the human aspects that you just switch your nose and say, look, what exactly is it that you are doing? Finally, in now saying, those of you who are still staying in the fringes, who are yet to make your determination, I have looked at it boldly, and I have looked at the distortion that we have in the economy. I noticed he's mentioned the issue of the economy up to about 5 or 6 different times and talking about the reforms to correct. The arbitrage we have in the foreign exchange system is no more going to happen. Once, just talk about one man, 773, 723, over 700. That is not going to happen anymore. We are not going to continue to encourage arbitrage.
Now, Mr. Fatonke,
one of the tax reforms which is coming is the fact that, yes, by implication, the poorest of the poor will not pay taxes. I wonder what is going to be the response of the
now, Mr. Fatonke,
and then not talk of the subsidy or no subsidy in.
Mr. Fatonke, I'd like us to move on to other topics now. Let's talk about the fact that he also mentioned subsidies, the removal of subsidy, which the entire hall kind of like across the yay to. He was noted to have said that the monies from the removal of subsidy has been pumped into other sectors. Do you feel that this is correct? Do you feel like the common man is actually feeling the effect of these infusions into different sectors currently? Mr. Fatonke.
Beautiful, smart question. I like that. That is exactly what you and I should interrogate. The opposition should also be able to feast on. Because economics, basically, the law of dumb conclusion is that you cannot eat your cake and have it. No doubt about that. For sure, many of the governors, 22 of them that has endorsed within the progressives and some others that are coming in, they have more allocations available to them. However, what are they using these allocations for? In a time when in quite a number of the states, we are still talking about many governors not being able to pay 70,000, minimum 70,000, stands to shame. And so, pleading with them, say, look, put our feet to fire together with your corporation. That is the other side of that statement. Together with your corporation, I can take the bullets, I can take the darts. But please, in terms of priorities, let's begin to look at the welfare of the people. And don't forget, maybe once or twice, from what I heard, we were talking about the fact that, yes, it's Spain. But it is Spain that we must take now so that our children and children will not be in additional pains.
I want to jump on that.
Economics is a social science that tells you that, look, you and I can be looking at the same thing we see it in different prisms.
Mr. Fatonke, let me jump on that for just a second here. Mr. Fatonke, if you don't mind, let me jump on that and ask Okiki this question regarding this pain that you referred to that the president also alluded to. The reduction in the claim of reduction of inflation reduction. Actually. Now, at 2024, it stood at 34.6%. From earlier, he had been quoted as saying that by the end of 2025, it would be reduced to about 15%. Would you say, Okiki, that this claim is possible? Does it look feasible at all, in your view?
Well, as I speak now, it doesn't look feasible. Sincerely, I was going to, also speak to what Mr. Akin was saying, that the masses are not feeling it. And truth be told, a lot of people are suffering and, going through a lot of pains at this time. The president also said it, that you have to go through pain. But sincerely, the pain is getting unbearable. And I must say that, we can, probably say maybe there's some things we can afford, but there's some people that are really having it very tough at this time. I know the president has said that it takes 2 years, and then later on, from now, things will start shaping up and stuff. But sincerely, how do we even have children when the pain is killing? So these are the things we should look at. I know that we need to bear the pain. We need to, endure. But, talking about the inflation, reduce it to 15%. This is May. It's going to be June in some weeks. And, certainly things are not looking like the way, it's been said. Let's be hopeful. If it happens, fine. But if it does not, I feel that the president should look into this, even if, there are policies that we are putting in place to ensure that things, we don't actually do not experience what we're experiencing now. But I think that the pain should be reduced a bit. At least let people feed.
Okay.
Let people, afford a lot of things. But so basically, just to cap it up, I feel that the projection, I do not think and I do not believe that the 15% projection will come to pass. Well, we can be hopeful.
Well, let me help you out there, Okiki. Let the poor breathe. But while we're on the subject of inflation, Mr. Akin Fatoke here is an accountant, and I'd like to ask you a question. Only a couple of weeks ago, maybe less, Alfred Owani was quoted to have been saying that the inflation figures do not add up. Now, you're an accountant just like the president is. I don't know if you can walk us through some of the math, perhaps, Mr. Fatoke.
Economics talks about ceteris paribus. There are certain things you make assumptions on, and then you do the what if this happens. And to climb on the back of Okiki, certainly, as at the time when the 15% issue came up, some of the things that were, I guess, the assumptions was that we are going to have a spike in insecurity. Soldiers being killed here and there out of political considerations. Our military are facing bullets. See what is happening in Borno and the other areas. Those were issues that were held constant. But are they still the way they are? The answer is no. Does it then mean that a leader will not say, well, I envisage that where we are at now, people and discontent will always continue in such a way and manner that I can say, and I'll just say it in passing, that the leadership question in Nigeria, which we have not been able to resolve, I agree, APC, whether it's called one party state, everybody's jumping in there and stuff like that, it's not really the issue. The consensus within the elites is the fact that who is going to rule us? Who are we going to build a consensus with? Such that all tiers of government, including traditional institutions, will look at the same direction. You see something, you say something, and it's all gone all there. That some of the things that we are seeing is that some of the state governors, perhaps, I'm talking of the subnational level, I'm not observing the federal at all. Some of the subnational levels, what have been their priorities? And I say it without any fear of contradiction, that if you want to do an association between the blind and the lame, certain things must come into it, no matter how good it is. The blind must make sure that the lame is usually whistling when they are frying granules. Otherwise, the assumption is that the granite is being spitted away. The low side of this administration, in my mind, is the exemplary situation surrounding key priorities at all levels, including Mr. President himself, his family, the National Assembly. Yes, you've taken us into an emergency ward, but I want to see a situation where the doctor that is going to come and see me at the emergency ward will not be that it's so routine. They will be telling me to continue to bear the pain, and while he or she or those who are surrounding him are still smiling. Mm-hmm. I want to see a situation that even though mentioned in passing.
Now, Mr. Okiki, my apologies,
in this country.
My apologies, but I have to cut in there because we are running out of time. But thank you very much for your submissions. And also, Okiki, thank you very much for your submissions here on the matter. I was going to ask, actually, if after 2 years you're both satisfied with the efforts of the APC. In one word, if you could, both of you, please, Okiki, your response.
For me, not satisfied. Not satisfied.
And Mr. Fatoke?
50%.
50%.
50%.
We've still got 2 years to go, I guess. Thank you very much, gentlemen.
Right.
Now, also joining us is our correspondent, Bettina Nweli, who is actually in Abuja currently at location. Bettina, good evening. Please, if you'll give us an idea of what the ambience is like after the summit for 2025 with the APC Summit. Unfortunately, I think we might have lost that connection. Bettina seems to not be in communication with us, but we will bring her reaction or the reactions from Abuja to you subsequently. Do stay tuned. Let's go on a break. When we get back, a little bit more. Unfortunately, we are unable to bring you News Central correspondent Bettina Nweli, who is actually in Abuja at the location of the APC 2025 Summit. But we will be bringing her report to you on the matter. So do stay tuned. Now, that's as much as we can bring to you this hour, but do remember you may send your eyewitness reports to the WhatsApp number on your screens now. And do follow us on social media. We are at News Central TV. You can watch News Central live on DSTV channel 422, GoTV channel 23, Star Times channel 274, Aero TV, and of course on YouTube. Many thanks for watching. My name is Mazino Appeal.